What's going on, man? Got a big topic today. But before we get into it, don't mind me as I just sip on my pumpkin spice cold brew I just made. It's early in the morning here right now, and I just couldn't sleep anymore. So I got up and I figured I would turn the camera on and make a video. I got a big topic today because I feel like a lot of young men lack guidance in today's world. Lots of bad advice out there. Lots of young men growing up without fathers. And my parents divorced when I was around 15 years old when I was in high school, and very rebellious in high school, got into a lot of trouble. Thankfully, I'm still alive. But my parents divorced. I lived with my mom. She was, finishing raising me and my two sisters, my younger sisters. And I knew that I was missing something. Like, I knew that I was missing some masculine guidance in my life. And so I took it upon myself to join the Marine Corps straight out of high school. I enlisted right out of high school. And when I went to boot camp in December of 2010, I was 19 years old. And it was a big culture shock for me. It was a reality check. I got my ass handed to me, and I did infantry, and I deployed overseas to Afghanistan and South Korea and Japan. And I was around a lot of damaged men, lots of unhealed men, lots of fake alphas, and I struggled with women for many years. I was the nice guy, letting people take advantage of me, walk all over me. The Marine Corps laid a solid foundation for me. And then when I got out, I had to reprogram myself, decondition myself, and really just find my own way and pave my own way. And I feel like a lot of us don't have that stable family, mother, father, live together, happily married for, years, your whole life. A lot of us don't have that. And so you have to go out and find and seek your own mentors in life. It's up to you. It's your responsibility. And that was honestly one of the reasons why I started this YouTube channel, because I wanted to just be the voice that I didn't have. So let's get into these points, man. The first thing is, look, all right, I didn't have a relationship with my dad for at least probably 15 years of my life. And it was only just recently in the last couple years that we started to kind of work on things. And I'm grateful for that. What we have to understand about the nuclear family dynamics is, if you don't have a masculine father figure leading the family and a feminine woman doing her part, and guys, I'm not sexist. I'm just talking about having those aligned energies as a partnership, working as a cohesive unit, right? The yin and the yang in the family dynamic. If you don't have that, there's going to be issues. And that's one of the reasons why we have so many issues today. Because the pecking order is all out of whack. So the first tip that I want to give you is, go ahead and start something now and stop waiting for the perfect moment. There's never going to be a perfect moment. Whatever it is that you're passionate about, go ahead and start chipping away at it. Whatever it is, because life is short and it takes a long time to build something. I've come to find that for most people, a realistic timeline to get really good at something and make good money with it, if you are in the right vehicle of opportunity, you're looking at most of the time 8 to 10 years. Now, yeah, sure, you see on social media, there's people that do it earlier. Oh, I got rich in a year, 2 years, 3 years. Maybe it could happen in 4 or 5 years, but most of the time you're looking at acquiring skill sets, building skill sets over a course of about 8 to 10 years. It takes a long time. Go ahead and start taking action right now. Start taking action because that action creates progress for you and opportunities, even if things aren't perfect. Man, they're not gonna be perfect, so don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait till you have every single T crossed and I dotted. You don't have to have it fully planned out because you can spend so much time planning something and get bogged down in the planning process and not take any action and feel like you're being productive when all you're really doing is just planning. You're not actually doing anything. You're not actually doing anything that's moving the needle, okay? But I encourage you to take action about something you're passionate about, okay? The second thing I want you to know is no one's coming to save you. There's no Superman. It's just you, not your parents, not your girlfriend, not your wife, not your friends, no one. Now, you can get people and assistance in your life and find assistance of people that help you. But you can have the blueprint, you can watch all the videos, read all the books, and you still have to do the work at the end of the day. No one's going to do the work for you. No one's going to figure it out for you. Because the truth is no one really cares about your dreams, your goals, your aspirations as much as you do, or you should rather. Okay? You have to take responsibility for your life. And you can seek help from others, but you can't be overly reliant on other people because it can you honestly hold you back. Even including family, like that can hold you back. So just be the hero in your own story. The third point is I want you to master the basics. Okay. Master the basics. Like, what do I mean by that? Okay. Master the basics. Well, do what you say you're going to do. Be a man of your word. Be on time. Be punctual. Be respectful. Treat people with kindness. Easy stuff. Groom yourself well. Dress well. Hit the gym. Eat healthy food. Like, 80% of the time, eat clean. You can still enjoy your life and look good, okay? Master the basics. Live by the golden rule. Do unto others as you would want done to you. I think that's the golden rule, but I don't fucking know. Basic shit in life, man. I think appearance is a really, really important one because all you can do at the end of the day, bro, is maximize the cards that you were dealt with in life, right? I'm gonna go and kill this. You can't control how tall you are. You can't control how genetically handsome you are and attractive facial aesthetics, all these kinds of things, right? But you can dress well. You can learn style. You can, you know, get a good haircut, figure out a good look that works for you, get a good beard trim, whatever. See, the thing is, these days, man, as you guys have Chat GPT now, we didn't have AI back in the day, okay? You can literally ask Chat GPT to be your life coach, and you can ask it anything that you want, and you're going to get an answer, okay? Enough said about that. Master the basics, hit the gym, start working out, definitely do weightlifting. I also encourage you to do some stretching too, man. I didn't do a lot of stretching. Was in the military, had a bunch of injuries, played sports growing up, and I wish I'd done more stretching and mobility. But you don't have to spend a lot of money on clothes. You don't have to spend a lot of money on a gym membership, on supplements. Like, you can do this shit for cheap, man. You can do it for cheap. The problem is people try to have the perfect setup and make too many excuses. But I think having a really well-sculpted physique is so important, and it adds so much to your SMV, your sexual market value. That is front end game on the front end when you're meeting people, when you're meeting women, that front end game is like a part of that is your physique, and people are gonna judge you on that. You know, when I was in the Marine Corps, I mean, generally, Marines were always more fit. Not every single one of them, but Marines are notoriously known for being more fit than every other branch in the military. Everyone else is pretty lazy, okay? This is not a knock on all the other branches. I support and love all you guys, but it's true. Marines know that they're generally the best. They eat the most shit. They get treated the worst, and they're still, are able to perform at a very high level. Marines, one of the reasons that I went into the Marine Corps was because of the dress blues. Was because the uniform was so sexy and I wanted to be in that. I wanted to earn that uniform. And it is. And pulled a lot of tail with it back in the day. But, take care of your appearance. People will notice. If you just look around, I mean, most people, 90% of people aren't even doing the basics. They're not even working out. They're not eating right. They're not grooming themselves well. They're fat. They're overweight. They don't have a haircut. They So get that in order because it will really put you above a lot of other people, okay? You know what? It's actually funny. I wanna just rant here for a second. When I was in the Marine Corps, we had to get a haircut every week. And by the way, we didn't make that much money at all. I mean, we're barely scraping by. I mean, I think I probably made, like, maybe it was, like, 25 grand or so, and this is, like, 15 years ago. 25, 30 grand a year. Uh, Mind you, I didn't have to really pay for food. We got, free food. We ate on the bases that we stayed on, and, we were wearing a uniform. We were wearing uniforms mostly for most of the days, but we had to get a haircut every week. Every single week in the Marine Corps. Haircut every single week. And when I got out, I started doing it, like, every 2 weeks, and now I usually get a haircut, once a month, maybe 3 weeks, but usually once a month is fine. But I still trim my beard 1 or 2 times a week. So, I remember when I was in Afghanistan, actually, and whenever I was on deployment, especially when I was in Afghanistan, we were on a military base. It was a larger base, and when we would see the Army or the Air Force or something, it was typically the Army. The Army looked sloppier, the way they carried their rifles, the way they wore their uniforms. Haven't had a haircut in, probably months. And we were out in combat, living in, shacks and everything else. Then when we would go to the big bases, we would have to shave. They would make us, like, get haircuts and everything. Like, it was crazy. And we still had to, no matter what, there was a standard. There was a standard that had to be held no matter what. And that's the point I'm trying to make here. And so you should hold yourself to a standard no matter what. The fourth thing that I want to address is be able to take criticism maturely and not lash out, not get defensive, not project. Because people that are more successful in life than you in areas that you want to be successful in, they sought criticism from other people, constructive criticism, feedback, asking people their honest opinion, getting feedback from people who are more successful than you. That's the only way that you're really going to be able to get ahead in life because a lot of people can't do it because of their egos, but you have to drop your ego and be willing and open to receiving feedback and actually even being proactive with it. So if someone voluntarily gives you feedback, it's being open to it, to receiving it. Okay. And of course, not everyone that's going to give you feedback you're going to listen to, only if it's coming from a credible source, right? But then actually going and asking people, like, I'll give you an example. I mean, there were times when I was trying to become an online fitness coach before I started doing that, before I started coaching, I would ask guys who were doing it, who had reached success with it. I even invested in, $4,000 plus in having my own coaches for health and fitness, for business coaching. That way I could learn what I needed to have someone hold me accountable and learn at a quicker rate without, stumbling for years and years and years. But anyway, I digress. My next point is your friend group has a powerful influence in your life, probably more than you realize. Your friend group has a very powerful influence in your life because at the end of the day, friends can either support and motivate you or they can distract and pull you down, right? So evaluate your relationships in your life and be willing to change your circle for your own growth because it's absolutely necessary. Some people come with batteries. Some people are energy vampires. And there's some people, some of your friends, maybe you have fun with them. Maybe you feel good around them. But are they really good for you? Are they really aligned with you? Are they partying all the time? Are they just obsessed with talking about fantasy football all the time? Are they obsessed with all these things that are not actually helping you grow in your life? And I'm not going to knock on video games and TV and Netflix and movies and fantasy sports and stuff, guys. If you want to spend a little bit of time doing that, that's fine. But if you're not where you want to be in your life, these sorts of things should get very minimal attention. Like, I mean, less than 20%, probably more like 10%. Okay. It's just true because time is the most valuable asset you have in your life and you can't get it back. And so I think if you can learn to value your time, where is that going? Value your time more. Who are you giving it to and what things are you giving it to? Protect your time. You will get further ahead in life. Have a plan for your day too. Like start to be structured and organized. I wish I had done this when I got out of the Marine Corps. There was a period for about 4 years that I was not really very organized or disciplined or structured. I mean, I let my discipline slip like a lot of veterans do. But, I think that if I would have just been more locked in when I was like 23 when I got out, from like 23 to 27, 28, if I was more locked in, I would be further ahead. But it took me 7 years to finish, almost 7 years to finish my bachelor's degree. I switched my majors a couple times, switched states, colleges, 3 states. I kind of took me a while to figure things out. I mean, it literally took me until I was about 30 years old to get things together. And you know what? That is okay. That is fine. Because the last thing I want you to do is compare yourself to anyone else because no one else is you. No one else has your story. So we're not playing the comparison game here. But if you can take charge, if you're in your 20s, hell, even if you're in your 30s, doesn't matter. This is all relevant for everyone. If you can just, no matter where you are, if you can take charge of your life and your time and manage your day. So instead of your day controlling you. But, when it comes to your friend group, you are going to be the sum of the 5 people that you spend the most time with or talk to. Okay. And look, there was a period of time I got out of the Marine Corps. I had like a couple friends for a few years. And then it was right before I made a big transformation in my life. It was the end of it was like 2018 and I had no friends. I had a bunch of bad habits and then I completely transformed my physique. I started doing certified personal training. Then I finished college and I went into corporate, got a good sales job and then just continued on. But there was a period for about like 6 months, at least 6 months, I had no friends. I had no friends at all. It was probably more like 6 to 8 months. No friends. I was monk mode, I was locked in, I was reading, I was hitting the gym twice a day, I was getting up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock every morning, I was working 2 jobs, and I was not getting ahead. It didn't feel like it, but I was chipping away at these areas of my life and things were compounding, and then one by one, I would start to meet people who were more aligned with me in this new higher evolved self. Like the universe will bring people into your life. God, whatever you want to call it. And so that's how that works. Okay. Don't let a breakup define you, right? I want you to hold on to your positive values. Learn from the experience. Yes, learn from the experience, but do not change the core qualities about you just because one person failed to appreciate you. Okay. I've had toxic relationships in the past that I felt that I lost myself in. But don't don't lose yourself. If you do, it's fine. You can find your way again. And I know breakups can be one of the hardest things to get over. It's literally one of the hardest things to get over. And if you're really struggling with a breakup, I actually have at least a couple of videos on my channel about that. Go check it out. But don't let a breakup define you. Use a breakup as fuel to level up in every aspect of your life, because personal growth is really the best revenge. But we're not seeking revenge. We're leading with love. We're leading with love. And know that if you gave your heart and put yourself out there, you gave your best, that person couldn't meet you where you are. That person couldn't appreciate you. And that's okay. We learn from it and we move on. Just drop in the comments. Let me know. I'm curious. What is your craziest breakup story? Try to read through the comments as often as I can. Let me know in the comments what your crazy is or X story is. My next point is understand that confidence is not arrogance. Because true confidence it's quiet, it's respectful, and it's based on self-assurance rather than boasting or seeking validation, right? Because arrogance really is insecurity masquerading as strength, okay? But it's always the really confident guys who are generally the more cool, calm, and collected, quieter guys, you know? You don't have to talk much because your life speaks for you. Your actions speak louder than your words. Confidence is internal. It's not from the external. Confidence is built internally. Okay. So we're not trying to impress anyone. We're not trying to please anyone. We're not trying to have, we're not trying to lead with any of our external things, stuffs, cars, watches, clothes, right? We're not trying to lead with any of that stuff. It doesn't even matter. Confidence is internal. Confidence comes from showing up for yourself. Confidence comes from doing hard things in your life consistently, setting goals, crushing those goals, setting new goals, raising the bar for yourself. Confidence comes from repeatedly stacking wins for yourself in your life. It's doing all these things consistently and showing up for yourself, right? Now, my last point is learn to say no. I was a nice guy back in the day, never having boundaries with people. But setting boundaries is a crucial form of self-respect, and it protects your time, your energy, and your values. And saying no empowers you to maintain control and integrity in your life. Being able to say no to things, people, places, things that you don't want to do, that don't align with you. They don't align with where you're heading in life. Just say no more often. Practice saying no more often. If you don't want to do it, that's fine. Be okay with it. Not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone's going to be cool with it, but people will respect you more. And it all starts with having respect for yourself, because if you don't respect yourself and have boundaries and standards for yourself, it really comes down to boundaries, right? Um, how can you expect anyone else to respect you? So that's all I got for you today, man. Hope you liked the video. If you did, hit like, bro. Hit like. Comment down below. Let me know what you're struggling with right now. Subscribe to the channel because I'm dropping videos every single week. And if you want help one-to-one, you want to talk through some stuff, whether it's a breakup, it's navigating single life, figuring out your purpose. Maybe you're struggling with addiction. I don't know. Whatever it is, we can hop on a call. Link is in my bio, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.